Good morning. This is the Friday, August 1st, regular meeting of Lorain County Board of Commissioners. Let us commence with the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Riddell.
Here.
Commissioner Moore.
Here.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Here.
We have a quorum. We have a proclamation proclaiming August as Child Support Enforcement Month, and Amy Price, Administrator, CSEA, is here.
Good morning. Amy
Good morning.
Price from Lorain County Child Support Enforcement Agency. Address is 42485 North Ridge Road, Elyria. Thank you very much for having me, and thank you for recognizing Child Support Awareness Month. This is a national campaign, so August is recognized nationwide. We are also celebrating our 50th year of the Title 40 program, which is the federal child support program. So it's the 50th year this year. Locally, we have 55 staff members handling approximately 24,000 open and active cases. Our enforcement workers that are the ones that are collecting the funds, working with the employers, working with the obligees, are working an average of 1,350 cases each, so they're very, very busy. As of June 30th of this year, which was the end of the third quarter of the federal fiscal year, we have established in Lorain County 96% of paternities for the children born out of wedlock this year. So there were 11,230 children born out of wedlock, and we've established paternity for 10,793 of them. In regards to support establishment, we've had 18,740 cases open, and we've established 17,891 of those cases, which is 95.88%. As of June 30th, we've collected in current child support owed $22,948,378, which is 72.45% of the current support owed. I would like to note that that's up 1.5% from last year, same date, and it's above the state average, which is 71.93. So very proud of my staff for increasing those numbers. And lastly, the arrears. We have collected $7,965,762 in arrears, and that is up 3.91% from last year at this time. So they've really been working hard on trying to get those numbers increased. The 4D program also allows us to work with community partners such as the prosecutor's office, juvenile court, domestic relations court, the sheriff's office, and in doing so, we've been able to be reimbursed approximately $1.8 million towards their salaries and the programming. So that's it for stats, and I just also like to make it known that this is also our amnesty month, our back to school amnesty month. So any obligor that's in default of their child support and has had their license suspended because of child support can pay 1 month's towards support and $1 towards arrears, and there's a reason for that dollar. We will reinstate their driver's license. The last 2 years we've done this. In 23, we've collected $46,000 of arrears to go into the home before school starts. And in 24, we collected $42,000, so we're hoping to hit that $50,000 mark this year. Well, that's all. Any questions?
Yeah, so you're at about $100 million in uncollected child support, if that's 22%? Because don't you get, like in the land bank, you get to a certain point where people are uncollectible, correct?
There's a certain point where they're uncollectible, or the state, if it's owed to the state, they are actually pushing us to do this program called ROPA, which is Reduction of Permanently Assigned Arrears, where if we can't locate them, we can erase them off of our books after going through a few steps. So we've been working through that for those that are uncollectible. Those that are collectible, we use every single enforcement technique that is permissible. If it's the ones that are required, mandatory, and we use all of those that are discretionary as well, so.
Well, I had a friend of mine since I've known him, he was 5 years old, and we got a call from up in Lapeer County, Michigan. His father was arrested for $5,000 worth of back pay child
From here,
support.
from Lorain?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
There's a reason I'm telling the story.
Okay.
He's 35 years old, and that's just something that's always on the books, no matter how old you are.
Right.
And that money I feel is owed to the mother for that because he did not pay. So I hear these stories, and I'm really not a big supporter of the amnesty program.
I know.
Yeah, okay, good. You know where I'm going then. I was pushing for billboards for your top 10 deadbeats. I thought that would be a little bit more efficient. What I've seen and heard that some of them are not it's not always men. You know, there's women that owe.
I will
And-
say, since the opioid epidemic, we have a lot more mothers that are the obligors owing to either caretakers, children's services, or family members that have taken custody.
Yeah, but I see this as an issue where our children are not getting the compensation needed, for, like you just said, for schools and other needs. And I always felt, and we did this only 1 year, and then that's a whole nother story on why it got reinstituted. But I was totally against using an amnesty program for 1 month and $1. And when you do that every year, these deadbeats know they can do that. That's my opinion, and that's just of one of 3 commissioners. So I know when you guys talk, hey, a month before school, we're trying to raise $50,000. Okay, that's in 1 month.
Right.
That should be $50,000 per month from there on out. And I don't know how you guys track these people. If they can pay 1 month, do you track them and say, okay, how do you get them back into that system to continually pay monthly after that?
We are
Yeah.
working towards, with Mr. Cabot on board, we are working towards an early engagement program for fathers, and we will have to work it with mothers as well eventually.
Okay, I was
but we're
waiting, yeah.
starting with the fathers because
Okay.
there's funding for that. And getting them involved with work programs and just early engagement and expressing how important it is not to fall behind. And this is something that we really have lacked in the past. And also, some cases, they just start with arrears, which is unfortunate. So we do, the cases that we don't establish, they come to us from court, let's say a divorce or a custody case, and they will say, here, put this order in, and it backdates 2 years. So the obligor starts in arrears. And we will put in arrears, so they'll have their regular payment, and then we add an arrears payment on, so that's how we start to reduce that. But there's a lot of discussions to be had about the different ways that people in arrears, and then how we can get
Right.
them to
Well,
get
you-
them caught up and paid.
Well, you said there's 24,000 cases,
24,000.
and you only
overnight.
have 55 people. That's why I
Right.
thought maybe a different approach with marketing and shaming. You know, I'm sorry, but that's what it is. That's what it
That
is,
is,
you know?
that is obviously your right.
That's
to
my
have that
opinion. That is an
And
opinion.
we could
And-
absolutely discuss those things, but we
Okay.
have found that does
Well, Chris has
harm the
never heard me
children
speak like this
sometimes.
before. You have, so I just wanted, since Chris is here, I thought maybe you guys could hear how I feel about this, so.
Sometimes we find that harms the children because children can be cruel at school and social media, and if their dad's up on the board or mom, so we can have that discussion as well. But
Okay.
there's 2 sides to that story.
I know, I'm just saying, since Chris is new and he's never heard me talk about this.
Come on, get in the
No,
hot
I'm just-
seat.
This has been an issue for 4 years with me here, so you know that.
Chris
so.
Cabot, Director,
Yeah.
JFS, and Child Support Enforcement Agency. What you are saying is not falling on deaf ears, because there are a lot of fathers out there who are not meeting their obligations to pay for it. But we do need to keep in mind that some of these fathers, to no fault of their own, are also not able to meet those obligations. And so, and both of them are populations that we need to pay attention to and work with. And Amy briefly mentioned a new initiative that we're embarking on, and we are working with the state on what's called the Ohio County Fatherhood Mobilization Initiative, just to help to develop some services, bring awareness. We're really in the beginning stages of it, so I don't have a ton of details, but we are working with the state. They're actually gonna fund us with some startup money if we have to apply for the process, and I think we have a good chance of getting it. Amy's already been working. Amy, I want to acknowledge Amy. She took time, Ms. Price took time out of her last weekend to attend a conference at Grafton Correctional Institution on the fatherhood mobilization and getting to know the process, working with other people that are working with the state and meeting with some of the fathers that are incarcerated. So, but again, just getting the conversations going, like you said, I mean, yes, I mean, there are some fathers out there who, if shaming works, whatever.
Wow.
Because it is about the kids
Yeah.
ultimately and the needs of the kids and the families. So, but we do also need to pay attention that there are fathers that would like to pay but just don't have the ability to do so. Anything else?
Nothing further?
Okay.
I had, following up with Dave's concern is, I was gonna ask you, how many people after they pay the 1 month plus $1 keep paying? And it sounded like that's a pretty
Well, if they don't
low
keep
number.
paying, I mean, quite honestly, what we do is in 90 days, because the statute says that we have to wait 90 days, is we suspend again, and then they pay again. Suspending the
Okay.
driver's license, unfortunately, although it seems counterintuitive, works the best to get money in. So if they don't continue to pay, we do it again, and then they come pay, and then so it becomes a cycle, and I think that with this fatherhood initiative, that's something we're hoping to break, that cycle, so.
I can see how that program could be effective because it might put them back on the path where they don't think they can get on the path. But to repeat it, to stop paying after
Right.
month one should be a little bit more of a penalty against them. Maybe they gotta pay 2 times next time or
Well,
something.
they,
Incrementally increase it.
right, the amnesty is only, it's only during amnesty that it's 1 month, and that's really just to try to get money into the home. Like I said, we have collected $8 million in arrears this year, on top of the 22 million, or 23 million we've collected in current support. So we are doing a lot of things to collect it, but the amnesty is really just to try to get an extra bump that month before school starts.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, is it a good way, when they do pay, do you guys follow the bank account where it comes from and then you go back after that account?
So generally, quite honestly,
Or job, for
we
that
bring in, our agency collects a ton of actual cash.
Oh,
So
geez.
generally, we are seeing either them come in with cash or they send someone in to pay cash to get their license back. Yeah.
They don't
we
wanna
see
leave
that.
the paper trail.
we
They're
do.
onto it.
But we just collected, one person was was over $1 million in arrears. He was a professional athlete, and we got his bank account and collected $750,000 in arrears from his bank account. So we do get bank accounts. We go after it pretty aggressively. Actually, we're usually number 1 or number 2 in the large counties. Out of the 88 counties, we're categorized large, and we're usually number 1 or number 2 for intercepting out of bank accounts.
Awesome.
We
Keep it up.
We're pretty aggressive. I
Yeah.
just need to put more caseworkers on
Exactly.
these cases, so
That's-
they don't
yeah.
have 1,300, maybe they have 800.
Yeah.
So that, we're looking at that as well.
Well,
Cool.
and it's a small piece of the population, I'm sure, but I used to be an employer of 50 to 60 truck drivers with CDLs.
Mm-hmm.
And when we get a new employee, and about 4 or 5 months in, the ex-spouse would find out where he was working, and all of a sudden the child support would start again. And if he didn't pay it, he didn't tell them that we were there, they would suspend his license. And I used to try and lobby, suspend his driver's license, but not the CDL.
Well, somebody heard you.
Allow him
because
to
the
have
law-
work privileges, because he's got to use if you're a carpenter and you lose your license, you can still work and pay back child support. But if you're a truck driver and you lose your CDL, you've lost your means of raising the money to pay the arrears.
You're correct, and somebody heard you, because the law just changed a couple months ago.
A lot.
That says
Spoke too
that-
See what happens, you become commissioner and things start happening.
Basically, if suspending that license would cause them to not be able to earn the money, they can petition and have it reinstated. So we're not going through that process on CDLs because that is truly intuitive.
Right.
So,
I know we're here for a proclamation, so
Yeah.
I guess,
that's okay, I'll answer all your questions.
no, I'm glad, no, you did, and you did. Well,
Well,
thank you.
in the interest of time, I think you've done a better job of explaining what the month is. And we have a proclamation here for you and Chris, but you kind of beat us to the punch as I'm going through it. Yeah, she hit that one, and she hit that one, and she hit that one. So, who's back there? Is it Victor? Mm-hmm. Victor, could we have the proclamation on the screen, please? Thank you. And if you and Chris would like to come up.
Oh, get a picture.
Yeah.
Is that straight? Yes.
Yes, you had a good head of steam line, so as you approached the podium, I was like, nah, I'm gonna let her go.
Stay away from you. Don't lean your gate.
Thank you. Well done.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Well, that's mine.
Yes, it is. Under resolutions, number 1, there are no investments. Number 2, appropriations.
And you'll notice, we have the folks here today, the $2 million transfer is appropriation is for our TANF funds and the services that they provide.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Number 3, transfers.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion.
Casey, would you like to explain the transfer from 25 to 26?
Certainly. So that's for our Children Family First Council. They are on a different fiscal calendar. Their fiscal calendar runs July 1st to June 30th. So this is a matter of, because the county, our system is on a January to December system, they're essentially moving their cash from their fiscal year 25 into their fiscal year 26 subfund to continue on there with their expenditures.
Very good. Thank you.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Number 4, advances, repayments, there were none. Number 5, requisitions.
And could we have page 2? Move to approve?
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Number 6, travel.
Move to approve?
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Number 7, bills.
And page 1 is the general fund. We have page 2 for general fund. And page 3 starts the special revenue funds. And page 4.
Move to approve?
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
There is no number 8, correct?
No, we are
There's-
having a short.
you
No,
are?
there is a personnel summary sheet, isn't there? No, there isn't.
No,
Oh,
we have
Oh, there'll
we
be an
will be
exec-
having executive
yeah,
session.
yeah.
Okay, so county commissioners may recess an executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, along with any other matters as specifically identified by motion in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G 1 through 8. Unless expressly stated otherwise during executive session, matters discussed in executive session are designated by the county commissioners as confidential. Because of the confidentiality of such matters is necessary for the proper conduct of government business, any disclosure outside of executive session is prohibited by Ohio Revised Code 102.03B. While in executive session, the county commissioners may discuss and deliberate on the matters at issue, but no votes may be taken until open session resumes.
Do we have any public comment signed up for?
I have no forms, no.
Okay.
Is there any old business?
Under old business, we'd just like to, it's still ongoing, so it's not behind us yet, but I received word yesterday evening that the celebrations of the service of Officer Wagner are continuing through Lorain County. And as we all know from our recent success at the airport, the Antique Car Club is a very active group. And they are holding a rally in Antique Car Club at German's Villa on August the 19th. And those proceeds will go entirely to the 3 families that are impacted by that event. In an effort, I hope that those that are gonna continue to support, just because we've had the funeral doesn't mean that they shouldn't be in our thoughts and prayers. So they're still in need, and they still need some assistance, and I hope the community will look for those opportunities and plug in wherever they feel appropriate.
There's more to come on that, too.
Anything further? Board business, number 9, approve and waive the reading in the county commissioners meeting minutes of July 25th and 29th.
So moved?
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
10, approve Lorain County Commissioners credit card policy effective August 1st of 2025.
Move to
Karen?
approve.
Yeah, move to second.
Discussion.
Okay. Now Karen.
I think it's better if we have Kathy explain it for you. She was the one that was actively setting with the other elected officials and offices in order to put this together for us.
Yeah, but
Okay.
this is for just the commissioners, all right? Or
No,
just-
sir. It is countywide.
Okay.
All right. Ohio Revised Code requires the Board of Commissioners to establish a credit card policy. There had been one in place since 2018. There were some recent updates in the laws, and so this is an update. This policy was worked on by a group including people from the Auditor's Office and the Commissioner's Office Fiscal Department. And it was presented to all the departments which it would apply to with comments. And so this is the policy that we're recommending.
And it's several pages.
Yes, it is.
Yes, we won't read you the policy, but the takeaway for this is that we've done a lot of housekeeping over credit card policies with people being removed and added and so forth, and this requires some cleanup, as well as we're very proud to announce that it is county-wide.
Yes, sir.
So we were able to not only affect the commissioners and our employees, but we had a buy-in from other electeds and other departments.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Under Emergency Management, 11, accept the Public Utilities Commission of Ohio Hazardous Materials Training Grant in the amount of $10,550 for Lorain County Emergency Management Agency. This grant will be used for response needs to use by Hazardous Materials Response Team to fund state grant funds account.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Job and Family, 12, amend Resolution 25-244, adopted April 8th of 25, authorizing 4D purchase of service contracts between Child Support Enforcement Agency, the Prosecutors, Domestic Relations Court, and Juvenile Division. Said amendment is to reflect the corrected account should be contractual purchase services.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Under Children's Services, 13, appoint Chris Cabot to Lorain County Children's Services Board effective August 16th of 25 through August 15th of 29.
Move
So
to
moved.
approve. Second.
Discussion.
Yes.
very proud of this. The commissioners have worked hard to fill in citizen boards with citizens. Unfortunately, Mr. Cabot is an employee of the county, which we had a policy trying to avoid that, but he brings such a unique set of skills and resume to the process that we were glad he volunteered, and we've accepted his participation on the Children's Services Board in honor of decades of service in the children's services business in Cuyahoga County prior to bringing his talents to Lorain County.
I wouldn't say unfortunately, I'd say
Yeah,
fortunately.
I was going to correct you right in the middle of that statement. I was going to say it's fortunate.
Well,
that
It's
he's
fortunate that he works.
Well, we have these guidelines, and we're trying very hard to make citizen boards citizens and not government boards in disguise. And, but as I said, this is an exception well worth noting. And so for those that may have been denied participation because they were employees, this, as in every rule, this is the exception to the rule.
Yeah, his vast knowledge of the field is unsurmountable.
Sure, it will be valuable to the board and the director.
Anything further? Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Under the Mars Board, 14, appoint Mike Babbitt, Michelle Flanagan, and Thomas Lumsden as members of the Lorain County Mental Health Addiction Recovery Services Board, effective August 1st of 25 through July 31st of 2029.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion.
Yes, this is one of those things, we're a little bit slow, but the state of Ohio has changed many of the board appointment schedules to August 1st. So we have 3 openings. Also on our website, you will find a 2-year opening. Unfortunately, we had a resignation due to personal reasons, so there's a 2-year term that's available for the Mars Board, as well as I was remiss, there is another open seat on the Children's Services Board. Teresa put those out on the website quickly as of Wednesday, and between Wednesday and today, we've already had inquiries about how to proceed to serve. So we're very happy with that response.
Yep. If you look under board correspondence, you'll see the resignation from Rob Stipe. He's a friend of mine. He actually lost his stepson to drugs, and that's when you're talking about the Mars Board. They have very specific. You have to have. They're very specific on who can be a member of this. And so when Rob asked me a couple of years ago to be on this board because he was passionate about the opiate addictions and the overdoses, unfortunately, like all of us, he's involved in a couple other boards, and he had to make some choices for, or he'd be without a wife. So I know how that can be sometimes when you start extending your volunteer time. So he did it. I just want to commend him for he was engaged. He asked lots of questions. I asked other board members. They were upset that he had to step down, but the other boards that he's on was taking up too much time, and I kind of hate to see him go. So just want to say thanks, Rob.
Well, and to build on that, I chose the word personal reasons, but yes, there are seats on the Mars Board which make it a little unique in that there are seats reserved for people who have had family or friends or themselves been involved in either mental health issues or drug addiction, alcohol addiction issues. So the 2-year seat that is open, we hope someone will step forward who has successfully navigated those worlds and would be willing to serve and help the board see to it that the outcomes of the board equal what we're trying to get into the board to happen. So
Yeah. It's one of those real life experiences is what they're really
Yes.
looking for to help them.
It is a unique board in that regard, in that they look for former clients to serve on the board to see to it, how can we improve services to that population?
Which means they really have to have a passion to correct it instead of walking away from it. It's admirable.
So, thank you.
Anything further? Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Deputy County Administrator?
Madam Clerk?
Thank you. And
Can
I
you
have-
convince Armbruster to do that once in a while?
And I have no report. Board correspondence.
Move to waive the reading of the board correspondence.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Is there any new business?
Yeah, I do. I have a couple pieces I'd like to discuss. It's been pretty well publicized that, a lot of hard work that this board's been doing is working with Columbus, with Gail Manning, Nate Manning, and Kelly Dieters, in which we received $67 million. As our phones have lit up, what that has done is several things. It has opened the eyes of Northeast Ohio that we exist. We have not been, I would just say, treated, I guess, for the last probably 30 or 40 years because the money was always going into the Cleveland area. I was in Cleveland a couple days ago, and it was amazing where we have the executive director who shook my hand 7 times. And that's all
You
they
counted?
talked about. I counted, yeah. 'Cause, and we started talking about the press release and everything else. But what's going on is the working with this board with Columbus to get not only our fair share, but we've been paying taxes for 50 years, and I feel like with the current leadership that we have from Lorain County, representing us in the state, with Gail Manning being probably one of the most powerful women in the state, is really helping us. But then what's not getting reported is the other work that's being done from our state reps. Kelly Dieters has advised me that they had a very successful operating budget, and she added some amendments. $2 million went for Ohio Council for Home Care and Hospice to train nurses at LCC. She got $500,000 per fiscal year for Rivian to start providing primary care. Now, Rivion's a vendor for the Mars board, just to let you know that all these boards are starting to merge. Rivian actually merged, and because of that, the efficiencies are starting to pay off for Lorain County. Nate Manning and Gail worked with her on that and on the $250,000 per year for the Neighborhood Alliance, which we are all supporters of. She also got $1.5 million for before care and after care for summer day care at Firelands. Another $3 million statewide for the Children's Hunger Alliance, and we now have a 2.75% flat tax rate for income. These are the things that our local representatives are doing for us. But the main thing to watch out for coming is that we've done a good job, this board's done a good job at getting as much money as we can for Lorain County. And right now, what the key highlights of House Bill 96 is there's now brownfield remediation programs for $100 million per year to support demolition and infrastructure, which we're going to need for a lot of these projects that you're going to be hearing about in our county. Another thing that our public transit funding, another 37 per year is coming, not to our county, but statewide, that our people will be chasing. Our people will be getting our fair share as, and Karen and her team start working on trying to expand VIA, which there's some good things coming with that. There's a lot of things that we are looking at. At the same time, we have a responsibility to the public in regards to the budget. And that's what you're gonna hear a lot about. So we've been diving in. Just because we passed the revenue tax budget doesn't mean we're not done. This is just the beginning. So one thing that happened to me as I was digging into one aspect to see what else we can cut and how can we save money, I kind of typed up a little speech here to tell you what's working, and I hit a brick wall and I need help from the board to move forward. So in 2024 alone, Lorain County spent $3.8 million on court-appointed private attorneys for indigent defense. This is well above what comparable sized counties spend when operating a structured, county-run public defender system. These costs are unsustainable and are projected to grow with caseload volume and inflation. With no centralized oversight or control over case assignments, billings, or performance outcomes, we are effectively managing a fragmented system with low transparency and minimal long-term efficiencies. So these are the reasons to establish a Lorain County Public Defender's Office. The cost savings through predictable, salaried staffing public defenders are salaried employees. High-volume counties with public defender offices consistently report lower costs per case, more predictable budgeting, streamlined administrative processes. Montgomery County, Ohio, which has similar population size, operates a public defender's office at significantly lower annual cost due to the economies of scale and sufficient staff utilization. The higher, a couple weeks ago, we had the domestic relations in here talking about the reimbursement rate. So they change every year. Now, higher state reimbursement rates currently reimburse the counties up to 82% of their indigent defense costs. Counties with dedicated public defender offices receive consistently higher reimbursements because their billing is centralized and transparent, staffing is accountable and audible, the office aligns with Ohio Public Defender's Commission's reporting standards, and assigned counsel systems, especially those with inconsistent billing practices, often fall short of the full reimbursement amount, leaving counties on the hook for excessive cost. So we need improved legal outcomes and efficiencies. So a large body of national research supports that public defenders' offices provide at least equal, if not better, legal outcomes for clients, especially when compared to part-time or contract-based assigned counsel. Out of Texas, the Texas counties, there was a SMU Decent Center came up with lower pretrial detention rates, more case dismissals, shorter case durations, expedite cases with lesser continuances. Public defenders benefit from institutional experience, ongoing training. They're familiar with our local judicial processes, and they have access to in-house investigators and mitigation experts. Ethical oversight and reduced conflicts of interest. A county office provides centralized oversight and supervision. Assigned counsel systems, especially when managed by the courts, can raise ethical red flags, including conflicts of interest between judge appointing attorneys and those appearing before them. There's a lack of transparency in assignments. There's minimal performance reviews or public accountability. Public confidence in the judicial system. This is what a structured public defender's office sends, a message to the community that Lorain County is committed to justice, accountability, and fiscal responsibility. Resistance, I expect, is going to happen, but I believe change is necessary. It's no secret that some private attorneys and even sitting judges may resist this change. After all, the current system has directed millions in public funds to a small group of private attorneys. Specifically last year, when 72 of them received $3.8 million, with only 12 receiving between $100,000 and $194,000, often with little scrutiny. But this is not about protecting incomes. It's about protecting the integrity of our justice system and safeguarding taxpayer dollars, at the same time providing a quick resolution for those in need. So now it's time for Lorain County to join the 26 other counties that have modernized their indigent defense systems. We are spending more than necessary, receiving less in return, and exposing ourselves to legal and ethical concerns that can be mitigated with one decision: the establishment of a Lorain County Public Defender's Office. So what happened was I started working on this, and I kind of hit a wall. And the wall was the Ohio Public Defender's Office wouldn't give me the information that I needed because I'm only one of 3 commissioners. What I do have is I'd like to, with this board's permission, is to invite the Ohio Public Defender's Office here, which they would want to do. They said we'd prefer to have this discussion, even though we feel it's, all we're doing is gathering data, but they would prefer to come to a public meeting and explain that. So, basically, I got a pretty thick file of data. Anybody interested, they can call my office and get copies of what I have. It's basically last year's expenses, and it's pretty telling documentation that I've collected, but I need more information in order for us to analyze that $3.8 million. What I've come to now is I can't get the data from the Ohio Public Defender's Office unless they come here, and then the 3 of us will be able to ask those questions. So I'd like to have Amy call back and say, yes, we'll come up with a date that all 3 of us are here, and I'd like to have them at least so we can start asking the questions and see, is this a path that Lorain County should go? I see it as a cost savings, and if that's okay with you guys, I'd like to have Amy reach out and schedule the time, but I'd rather have it in a meeting like this and maybe schedule them at the end. And then if the public's here, and maybe some of these attorneys might want to come, but and at least have a debate.
I agree,
okay,
and I
yeah.
think we should
Yep.
schedule it for a Tuesday,
Okay.
because that would allow more public participation.
I support it as well.
Yeah, okay. Well, I just want to let you guys know, that's kind of, I was hoping to have more data, but then I hit the wall because they said, nope. He goes, we want to come up and talk to all of you. I said, okay, I'm all for that, so.
And
So-
I think following our recent successes on other smaller issues, I think we should reach out to the prosecutor's office and have them select a representative, and likewise with the general court and the domestic relations for a representative. And again, since we're here for system integrity, I think all the players in that system should have a seat at the table.
Well, the way the board's set up, there's 5 board members we appoint 3, and I think the administrative judge appoints 2. And then that board then builds it. So our job as a commission is to whether or not we want to pursue that path or continue on the path that we're on. And that's kind of the decision, which I kind of like that. So the judges will have 2 seats and we pick 3. And out of those 5, 1 has to be an attorney. It could be all 5 attorneys, but that's kind of how the statute read. So, but again, it would be nice to have the state come up and do a presentation, and we could ask a whole bunch of questions and help us out, because we are going to be tight, and we're all looking for ways to start cutting and, make this work. So thank you for bearing with me.
Agreed.
That's it.
Any other new
No,
business?
nobody else, no public comment?
We have no
I don't
public
have any
comment?
forums either.
So,
Okay.
let's see, how do we, I also have some other new business I'd like to talk about. Well, this involves, the great work our, sheriff's office did this week. And, I don't know if you'd like to come up and talk about how 75 communities stepped up and kind of relieved our communities when we were in need. Because I think I don't know if I talked to Marty or Jeff, but I appreciate you coming in. I know we're going to talk some other stuff, but, you want to kind of share with us the community of the state of Ohio and how they helped you or helped?
Yeah, Commissioner Moore, thank you
Yeah.
for the opportunity. Commissioner Riddell and Commissioner Gallagher. As you know, this was a trying week for all of us, not only law enforcement, but families, friends, and that of Officer Philip Wagner, who had passed in a line of duty last week. And I know that you were in attendance also at his funeral, as many were in this room as well. With that came a very difficult decision to make, because in order to allow all of the members of the Lorain Police Department to mourn their fellow brother's death that had taken place, and that was a murder of him that had taken place, we wanted to make sure that they had the opportunity to appropriately grieve and to be able to have the department with the proper mental health assistance, peer support assistance, and that they needed to get through this. The Lorain County Sheriff's Office, as many of you are aware, have concurrent jurisdiction with the city of Lorain, because we have jurisdiction in the entire county. However, with that, we had many law enforcement agencies throughout the county and also throughout the state that wanted to assist in assisting the citizens of the city of Lorain to make sure that they received appropriate law enforcement services. We understand that through mutual aid agreements, some of those may have already been in place, but myself and Lorain County Prosecutor Tony Sillo, we had contacted the law director of Lorain, Pat Riley, in regards to those mutual aid agreements. What we had learned is that some of them were expired, some of them may not have been effective in this particular time of need. So a very rarely used law, which is called Section 31107B of the Ohio Revised Code, as the Sheriff of Lorain County, I have the legal authority to request the assistance, personnel, and apparatus of any public safety agency in the state, not only Lorain County, but in the state, to come to Lorain County to the aid of the citizens of the city of Lorain, the citizens of Lorain County, to make that happen. We had invoked that, and with that, we had many law enforcement agencies step up throughout the county and throughout the region, including Amherst, Elyria, Avon Lake, Avon, Sandusky in Erie County, Perkins Township in Erie County, the Ohio Highway Patrol, the Cuyahoga County Sheriff's Office, the Erie County Sheriff's Office, and one of the ones that touched my heart most significantly was the Henry County Sheriff's Office in Northwest Ohio, that not only offered deputies during the night when we had assisted Lorain with their law enforcement efforts, but also provided the security for this building and the courthouse on Wednesday. When the funeral was taking place, their deputies were placed in those positions. Medina County, Ashland County Sheriff's Office also assisted us, so citizens may have seen
deputies from those counties and answering calls in different parts of the county. Ashland had the south, Medina had all the way up to 82, and Sheriff Sigsworth from Erie County had 511 north and 58 west to the county borders of Huron and Erie to assist us there. The Westlake Police Department, the Wellington Police Department, Sheffield Village Police Department, and the Oberlin Police Department also took their turns in making sure that the citizens of Lorain were safe in this time. The Lorain County Prosecutor's Office was also very instrumental, because if it was not for the Prosecutor's Office, we would not have had the electronic warrants, subpoenas, and court orders that we needed to effectively assist the Elyria Police Department in conducting the main part of this investigation to answer the questions of why 3 Lorain police officers were targeted in an ambush on July 24th. In addition to that, some private foundations came together, and I'd like to publicly thank the Lorain County Community College Association. They had stepped up with that in providing meals and paying for all of the food that had taken place for the officers who participated, and also after the funeral. And in addition to that, Mission Barbecue, who fed the entire Lorain Police Department and the family during this time of need at no cost to either the county or any other government entity that participated in this. So the Lorain County Community College Foundation really stepped up, and so did Mission Barbecue as well. In addition to that, I want to let the commissioners know that although that there was some overtime that was procured in this, we also wanted to let you know that other counties, municipalities stepped up. They paid for the officers to make sure that our citizens in the county and the citizens of Lorain were well protected while this was going on, so Lorain could appropriately grieve their brother. And we're also appreciative for the funeral, for all the different agencies that came from across and around the country. New York, Chicago, Connecticut, other states in the nation that showed up, and we certainly appreciate the outpouring of love and support for Officer Philip Wagner and his family, and also other officers that were injured in that ambush as well. So I thank you for giving me the opportunity, and to also thank those agencies that assisted the Lorain Police Department, but most importantly, our office, in order to coordinate this and make sure that the safety was extended to the Lorain citizens.
And if you could get us a list, I think it'd be nice to
Yes.
have this
Send them
board,
a letter.
or do,
The agencies that supported you, Sheriff, we would like to reach out and thank go through their commissioners and thank their people for their support.
Thank you. We will provide that to you.
It
okay,
was very, very nice.
Yep.
Very nice.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd make a motion to go into executive session in regards to discuss personnel issues and/or contracts.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
It should be no more than 5 to 15 minutes, I would say.
Yes.
So, do we have to bite? Oh, we can cut it off, guys.
Yeah.
Commissioners have reconvened from executive session.
Thank you, and we are now adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.